Welcome back to Control Alt Lead, the podcast from computing where we talk to IT leaders about what's moving in the market. I recorded this week's episode at Oracle Cloudworld in London, where I was talking to UK country leader Siobhan Wilson about the company's new AI Agent Studio. That's an addition to Oracle Fusion apps customers can use to build their own AI agents. Obviously, Oracle is very excited about it. Fair warning, we did have some audio issues. So Siobhan and I are a little quiet and there is a bit of noise in the background. All I can do is apologize. For those watching this on video, no, I am not a giant. It's just a bit of unintentional forced perspective. With that housekeeping out of the way, please enjoy. Okay, so Siobhan, thanks for joining me today at Oracle Cloudworld 2025. AI is very much all the rage, but there's been a shift in interest away from generative AI in the enterprise and toward AI agents. And quite serendipitously, you've announced your AI Agent Studio today. So yes. Can you tell me about that?
Yes, of course. So AI Agent Studio is basically new from Oracle to allow customers to build their own agents. And what that means is that we've been delivering agents into our cloud applications out of the box. So there are agents that customers can turn on straight away and start using. But what we're now providing is the tools for customers to be able to build their own agents that make sense for them for their own use cases. So as an example, we've been building these agents through our expertise and reiterating them, building them, reiterating them, and now that we've done that over a number of months and years, we've kind of gone, right, okay, the tools are now ready for people to be able to use themselves and build their own. So that's what AI Agent Studio is, because they'll actually be able to do, build their own ones to make sense for their own particular use cases within their own organisation.
Sure. And it's part of Fusion apps.
It is all part of Fusion apps, yes.
And it's available to everyone using Fusion apps effectively for free.
Yes.
So what was the reason behind that?
The reasons behind that is basically because we're constantly innovating. Right? So we provide the 90-day upgrades every 90 days. So we upgrade. So we're constantly innovating all the time. And we're getting that feedback from knowing what our customers are doing, feedback from our customers. So we're constantly innovating through that 90-day window. And that was something that our customers wanted to be able to provide or build their own tools easily using what we've already done with our own tools and what we've already put into the agents that we've got. So it's making sure our customers have got choice to do their own thing as well as the ones that are actually embedded.
Okay, the $1 million question: how easy is it to build an agent?
It is very easy. I say it's very easy, but it's not as complicated as it was now that we've provided the tools. That means that you can the tools that are there, you can actually put it in very quickly to actually depending on what you want it to do. Some examples would be building it out to your own actual email, depending on what email you're using or what communication internally you're using with your staff, whether that be Slack or email or whatever that might be. You can adjust, you can build that tool and that agent to make sure that it works with your internal communication tool. That's an example, and that is relatively straightforward to do.
Okay. And the other question about AI Agent Studio is you're allowing your customers to use the tools that you yourself have developed to build AI agents. Mm-hmm. How powerful is that?
It's hugely powerful, but it also works with third-party agents as well.
Yeah. Wonderful. Okay, great. Earlier I said the $1 million question, but perhaps I should have said $5 billion question, because you've also announced a $5 billion investment in OCI in the UK. Correct. What was behind that?
What's behind that is the global demand that we're seeing globally for Oracle to provide cloud infrastructure So we were looking at the demand globally, and we were sort of investing in areas, and the UK is one of the areas that we want to invest. Not just for government, we talked a lot about it this morning, the government's AI action plan. Obviously that was something that we looked at as well, but also for other organisations within the UK. Just looking at the global demand and making sure that we've got the capacity available for customers in the UK.
Right. Okay. I mentioned also the shift from Gen AI, which is still very important and obviously taking a lot of use, but the shift from Gen AI to agents. I'd be really interested in hearing your view on what is behind that shift in enterprise interest.
I guess the shift in interest, I guess where it's about the global demand again. I think the whole demand around AI and generative AI. I'm not sure it's completely shifted from Gen AI. I'm sure there's an awful lot of interest in generative AI as well. I think, the interest is that there is a reticence sometimes with customers that they're not quite sure what they're going to use or how they're going to use it. But I think as we've seen many more customers turn on the AI agents and turn on what they're actually using, we've seen a massive shift in what customers are using and how they're using it. So I think there's just been a huge increase in customers understanding the opportunity that it gives them for their business, and understanding that having AI is helping them with efficiencies, it's helping with their competitors, it's understanding their business much more, and it's helping them with their results. So I think it's just accelerating that customers are actually now starting to see the benefit that it gives them.
Well, let's talk about some of those benefits and challenges. What are some of the key opportunities and challenges for IT leaders who are looking to scale their AI adoption in 2025?
I think I'll start with the opportunities. I think the opportunities are endless, actually, because as we continue to innovate, we will find more and more opportunities. I think the challenges that IT organisations face, or any customer will face, is the underlying data. We talk about AI not being able to use AI data. If your data's not in a good position, then the AI isn't necessarily going to help you. So I do think, making sure that your data is in a format or a way that makes sure that the AI innovation is going to help them is going to be really important. So I think that's one of the challenges, and certainly legacy systems. If you're on legacy systems and still working on legacy systems, AI might be a challenge because it's all new innovation.
Sure.
So they're the sort of opportunities endless, and data being the challenge.
Okay. And then one other question for you, if you don't mind. What advice do you have for IT leaders when it comes to identifying maybe their prime opportunities for AI agents this year?
I think use the embedded ones, absolutely, because they will help them quickly. I think the other advice I would use is really understand what is the problem that they're trying to fix, what is the objective of wanting to use AI, what is it going to give them as an organisation. So rather than just kind of go out and use the agents that are there and embedded, and then look at what opportunities you have yourself. Each business will have its own challenges, it will have its own objectives that they need to fulfill, their own efficiencies that they need to make, and how is AI going to help them in creating, helping them in those challenges that they've got and those objectives.
So effectively, don't be afraid to use the out-of-the-box stuff.
Absolutely not, no.
But also, don't be afraid to experiment.
Yes, absolutely. Okay. And don't be afraid of it. Generally, don't be afraid of it. I still think there's some reticence in understanding what it's going to do for them as a business. But speak to organisations like ourselves. We can tell you use cases, help people understand what other customers are doing and how they've benefited from it. So we've got lots and lots of use cases now. So it's we can help customers understand that.
That's great. Thank you so much, Siobhan.
You're very welcome. Thank you. Good.
Thanks so much for listening. That wraps up this season of Control Alt Lead. We're taking a short break now to record new episodes, but we'll be back on the 6th of May. Until then, you can always head over to computing.co.uk for more IT interviews, research, and analysis. See you in May.